Putin is trying to fight peoples, you know, to fight against peoples. Putin is trying to deal with the West. Putin knows the weakened point of the West. That's why Putin is doing all this. That's why many people say, no, Putin is trying to control Africa. Putin is trying to colonize Africa. Putin is not trying to colonize any Africa. What could Africa have that Putin don't have? Is it weapon? Putin have weapon till he give weapons to Africa for free. Is it natural resources? Putin have gas, have fuel, have oil. Till he supply to the West Europe and England. He supplied them with oil, with gas, with everything. They survive through Putin natural resources. Today, Europe is having gas because of Vladimir Putin. So what do Putin need from Africa? If Africans, so many Africans will message me, you know, Putin is trying to control Africa, Putin is trying to colonize Africa, so don't support Putin. You cannot tell me who to support. I know who want Africa and who don't want Africa. I stand for the African freedom and African liberation. So we know who to point out as our friend and who to point out as our enemy. So if you tell me that Putin is trying to colonize Africa, America was not trying to colonize Africa? Europe was not trying to colonize Africa? England was not trying to colonize Africa? When they have make you people, Africans, a slave and destroy the future, any generation that is coming, they destroy their future. And at the end of the day, that generation came suffering. That generation have to keep on begging them. Generation upon generation have to keep on begging the Western peoples for money, for food, for even freedom. For how long when the Western world was controlling Africa, pretending that they are helping Africa, but Africa is begging them for freedom and they couldn't give Africa a freedom. So if today we have a man called Vladimir Putin who stood out and says Africa must stand on its own. Putin is doing that. It's not because Putin want to colonize Africa. Putin is in a war with the Western world. And Putin have a strategy that was very intelligent strategy to make the Western world to suffer. And Putin know the weakened point. The weakened point to make the West to suffer is to let all African countries to stand on their own and have their freedom and have their right. That's to make the West to suffer. That's why the West is suffering right now. Do you think America is not suffering? How many African countries are banning American dollar? Do you think it is good for Africa? How many countries have chased France away? Mali have already banned the French language. We all know it. Putin is not trying to colonize Africa. Putin is trying to weaken the West. The Western peoples. America, UK and Europe. Putin is trying to weaken them. And to weak West, you have to stand, make Africa to stand on its own, make African countries strong, so that they will not be able to beg America, and they will not care about America anymore. That's what Putin is doing right now. Putin make African leaders not to feel afraid of going out from the West's threatening policies. South Africa go out, Mali go out, Burkina go out, Guinea go out, Eritrea go out, Somalia go out, Central African Republic go out. All those countries go out today. Why? Because they feel like even if we go out, we will never suffer. We still have someone who is ready to help us feel free. Whatever Putin is doing for Africa is doing it for free. And he's not doing it to think like he is going to get something back from Africa. No. Putin don't need nothing from Africa. Putin is just doing his fight in his strategy. The war between West and Putin, it is a good sign for Africa because it makes many African countries today to get what they want, to stand on their own. Believe me, even Zimbabwe, somebody says greeting from Zimbabwe. Burkina Faso, Ibrahim, the soldier who took over the leadership in Burkina Faso. Ibrahim, the military general, is ready to comply with Russia, and they are also planning to drop French language, the same as Mali, to kick out France, to kick out their language also, because that language, those languages are the biggest problem. I wish, even if Nigeria, Ghana, Gambia can also kick out English language from their countries as the official language, and plan to have their own language, like the same way Mali did. And Burkina Faso, the Ibrahim, the military general who took over the power, is really now ready is really now planning to drop French language, as Mali has already dropped French language, and Mali has banned US dollar on their new constitution. That if anyone being seen using US dollar, 45 years imprisonment will be the punishment. If they see you using dollar, American dollar, in Mali, you have to go to prison for 45 years. That was applied on the new constitution in Mali. And that I was also so proud of the Assimi Goïta, the Mali president, the army general who took over the Mali leadership. I am so proud of him for planning that. Kick out France and kick out French language and kick out the American dollar. Niger. Let's go to Niger. Today I want to speak about all these countries who were planning to have a big deal that will help us in the liberating Africa. Niger soldier declare coup on national TV on July 28, 2023. General Abdurrahman Tijani is ready to be a leader in Niger because he said the leader of Niger, the president, is really using Niger and selling out Niger to Europeans, the West. And he is ready to take over, to make a coup on him and become the next leader so that he could be able to comply as Mali with Russia, as Burkina with Russia. He want to also take Niger to that next level. Why do all African leaders are planning to do this job? Because Niger also is being controlled by European Union, who send their soldiers to Niger. They have so many, the West have so many terrorist groups in Niger that is terrorizing Niger and terrorizing sometimes Mali. But as Mali took themselves, they have more weapons from Russia, so they were able to conquer those terrorists around Mali. You know, this is another good thing, that Putin is empowering weapons to African soldiers so that they could be able to stand on their own. It's not like Putin empower African countries with weapons just to look the weapon. No, Putin do that for a reason, so that they will be able to conquer the terrorist group that was created by the West in Africa. The Western peoples, the Western governments have created so many terrorist groups in Africa that cannot be defeated because they supply them with weapons. The Western government supply those terrorist groups in Africa with weapons. And now Putin also know that to weaken them, he have to supply the African soldiers with a weapon, so that these African militaries will take those weapons and fight against the terrorist group that was created by the Western world. And Niger's General Abdurrahman, who is now trying to make a coup to take away Niger from the West and to comply with Russia so that they could also have a standard. And Niger have a big resources that could benefit Niger. But why is those resources not benefiting Niger, since it is benefiting Europeans, because Europeans are taking over every resources part in Niger. NATO have their camp in Niger, complying and having that camp. NATO have their soldier camp in Niger, and that they are stealing from Niger, and at the same time they have a terrorist group in Niger that is terrorizing Niger. People who are living in Niger know what I'm talking about. There is a terrorist group in Niger right now that is terrorizing an area where they have a resources of oil. NATO formed their terrorist group in Niger, and that terrorist group is terrorizing that area, killing people, innocent peoples, all because the West want the oil of Niger. They want to steal the oil of Niger, so they have to make terrorist group to make war in Niger so that they could be able to have chances to steal the oil that they want to steal from Niger. And the Niger military leader have been complaining since 2020 that they don't have a weapons to fight against those terrorists because the terrorists in Niger have more weapons than them. And the president is not ready to comply and give them weapons that they could defeat those terrorists, because if those terrorists are defeated, the president will not be happy. Because the president knows that those terrorist groups were created by the West, and he knows it very clear that the West wants something from that country. That's why they formed that terrorist group. And he is not ready to empower the military of Niger to fight against that terrorist. So he is just pushing them with small weapons to go and fight against those terrorists when the terrorists have more weapons than the Niger soldiers. And they were killing so many Niger soldiers. So now the Niger General Abdurrahman have already realized that our leader is working with the West. We are the one fighting with this small AK-47. But the terrorists have more weapons than us, have more dangerous weapons than us. And he have been complaining since. So now he said he wanna make a coup. He didn't hide it. He make it very clear that he wanna make a coup and he wanna become the president. From now on, he is the president of Niger. He make it very clear in the national TV on the 28th of this month. He make it very clear that he wanna rule that country. From now on, he is the president of that country. The president is out because he wanna work with Russia. Malawi, let's go to Malawi. President Lazarus says he will no longer sell his natural resources in dollar anymore, in American dollar. That is Malawi president. President Lazarus says he is not going to sell his natural resources in American US dollar. That was another slap on the face of on the West. And as we can see, Malawi President Lazarus is not joking with that when he make that statement, as he make that statement as a constitution, that he wanna stood up like South Africa. He wanna wake up like South Africa. When Putin already realized that many African countries are ready to comply with him, Putin also is ready to give beneficial things to many African countries that are ready to comply with him. But if any African country is not ready to comply, do you know how Putin see you? Because you work with the West and Putin hate the West. Putin is fighting against the West. So if you are an African leader and you still work with the West, you don't want to comply with Putin, then your country will die in poverty. And your country will never be free. Because as far as the West is promising you that we will help you, don't worry, don't join Putin. That's what the West is now planning. And that's what right now they are telling to some African leaders like Gambian president, Senegal president, let's go to Congo president, Ghana president, Nigerian president. This is what the West is emphasizing to them. That don't join Putin. We will help you. These countries that Putin is trying to colonize you people, don't allow it. If the West is telling us that Putin want to colonize Africa, what was the West doing to us? The West was not only colonizing Africa, they were killing Africans, making terrorist group in Africa, making wars in Africa, and colonizing us at the same time. So let's just calculate West and Russia who love Africa so much. Who love Africa? If we want to say Putin want to colonize us, if the West is now making it to look like Putin want to control us, we should not allow it. What was the West doing to us? Putin never make any war in Africa. Putin never form any terrorist group in Africa. Putin never steal from any African country. But the West is now stealing. The West have been colonizing us, stealing from us, killing us, making wars in our countries in a different form of ways. And now we are saying that Putin, if some Africans call me and tell me this word, I feel ashamed. I see you as someone who is really crazy. You think I will comply with your own idea? What the West did to us, don't you see? What the West have done to us? The West was colonizing us, terrorizing us, killing us, making wars in our countries, trying to make sure that Africa never move, because the West know that if Africa move up, that is going to be a problem for them. And they are never going to get nothing from Africa if Africa wake up. That's what Putin have realized, that he is in a war with the West. And he can't fight the West with weapon. He have to fight the West with experience. What is the experience that Vladimir Putin have complied? He complied that to fight against West, I need to make African countries more stronger, to stand on their own and to go far away from the West. And the West is going to suffer, because Putin know that without West, without Africa, the West will not move. Putin knows this very clear. Vladimir Putin is not stupid. He knows what Africa, what the Western people have been stolen from Africa and what they have been doing to Africa. When they killed Mohammed Gaddafi, the West joined together to kill Mohammed Gaddafi, the former president of Libya. Mohammed Gaddafi was a best friend to the Vladimir Putin. And you think Putin is going to leave the West to still continue terrorizing Africa when Putin right now in a war with the West? Putin is going to make sure that Africa gets itself. Those Africans know who they are. Those Africans, to empower those Africans militaries with weapons so that they will never depend on the West again. And so many people don't understand this point. Putin is not helping Africa today because he wants something from Africa. He's not helping Africa because he want to colonize Africa. Putin don't want to colonize. If Putin want to colonize, he will colonize the European countries, not Africa. What do Africa have that Putin don't have? Tell me. Is it gas? Putin have gas. Russia, they have gas. Europe today, without Russian gas, there will be no gas in Europe. Think about it. Europe today. Without Russian oil, there will be no oil. Without Russian grain, there will be no grain in Europe. As we all see now, Putin says he is not going to sell his grain to Europe anymore, to the West anymore. He want to give the grain out as a charity to African countries that are working with him. Those countries are like Burkina Faso, Zimbabwe, Mali, Somalia, Central Republic of Africa, Eritrea, and South Africa. Putin is ready to give that grants out for free to those countries so that they could stand on their own. And we have been all seeing the weapons that Putin was sending to Mali. Why do Putin send those weapons to Mali? To give them get fighters and give them weapons? Because Putin was making this clear that they should send France away if they want to be free. You can't work with Putin and work with the West at the same time. It is not possible. Any African leader who want to work with Putin, you work with Putin and forget about the West. If you want to work with the West and forget about Putin and forget about getting any benefit, your country to get any benefit from Vladimir Putin. It's not possible. Because Putin is not ready to give his materials or his weapons out to some African country that is there working with the West. Because as far as you are an African leader and you are working with the West, then you are enemy to Putin. See you as his enemy because Putin is fighting against the West. And what Putin is doing in Africa, forget about the colonized. Putin doesn't want to colonize any African country. Africans, get this from your head out. You don't know who Russia is. If you know what Russia have, you will never think of Russia wanted to colonize Africa. Those who want to colonize Africa, they are poor. That is the West. The West is poor. They don't have nothing without Africa. They have to fake with the African countries that they want to help us. They are helping us. They make us believe that without them we can survive. While that is a lie. Putin knows that without Africa, the West will suffer. And to weaken the West, Putin knows that I have to wake up Africans. I have to show them the way how to become rich. I don't only have to help them, but I also have to teach them how to control their resources. So that the West will suffer. Putin is doing everything in Africa today to make the West suffer. It's not like Putin want to control Africa. No. Putin don't want to control. If Putin want to control Africa, he will never give you weapons. How can I want to colonize you? I want to come and colonize you and I will give you weapons. I will never give you weapons if I want to colonize you. The West have never given African countries a weapon because they want to colonize us. They always want us to feel afraid of them. Can any African country wake up before to say that France go out or America go out? Can any African country do it before? They can't do it because why? Because they are afraid of the weapons of the West. But today, so many African countries are saying, France go out. We don't need France anymore. We want to cancel French language. America go out. We will not eat American dollar because they believe that they have the weapons to fight against America, to fight against France, to fight against the West. Because Putin have already supplied them with the weapons that they need. And they are no more, African soldiers are no more afraid of the terrorist group that was created by the West. Because they have the weapons to fight against them. As you can see in Mali right now, there will be no terrorist, there is no terrorist group anymore. All the terrorists run to Niger. Sometimes, when I watched the conversation of Assimi Keita, the Mali president, he says, before, he was a military. He was a military fighting against those terrorists. He is the military general. But they don't even have weapons to fight against those terrorists because the terrorists were so empowered by France government to be so strong. And the weapons those terrorists have is more dangerous than the weapons they are having. So they are wondering, how do those weapons get to those terrorists? Because the terrorists were not creating weapons. And there is no place in Africa that they create weapons. So how do they get those weapons? They find out that those weapons were from the West. So the West was empowering those terrorists. And the president of Mali before, the former president, Assimi was saying that when he was a soldier, the former president, they complained to him that they need weapons. But he was still telling them that use the weapons you have, fight against the terrorists. And that was really making Assimi crazy. So Assimi realized that if we want to get ourselves, our president is being used by France, so we need to bring him down. That was the main reason Assimi get angry, because Assimi said he lose many of his soldiers by fighting against those terrorists. Why? Because they don't have good weapons. And when they complain to the president is telling them that the weapons you have, use it against the terrorists. They told the president that these weapons we have, we can't use it to fight against those who have more dangerous weapons than us. So we need the same weapons that they have. We can't face them with these small weapons. But the president is not ready to comply. And the president is always pushing them. Go fight against the terrorists. Go fight against the terrorists. When the president knows it very clear that the terrorist group was created by France and we are supplied with weapons by France. People doesn't understand that way. Let's go to South Africa. South African President Ramaphosa is the most heated president right now in Africa. Is the most hottest president. The most liberational president, revolutionary president in Africa right now, South African President Ramaphosa. I respect him and I salute him 27 times in a day for a good job that he is doing right now. President Ramaphosa, the South African President Ramaphosa, is not afraid to make the tourist passport, the British passport to South Africa to be more higher. When he see that America is putting sanctions on them because they are complying with Russia, America, the West, have put more sanctions on them. What do Ramaphosa did? Ramaphosa said British passport price is now $15,000. As a British, you want to have a British passport in South Africa, you have to pay $15,000. No more cheap price in Africa. To go to Africa, you want to go to Africa, you just, as a British, you just wake up. There are fake British who go to Africa to criticize Africa, to destroy Africa more, to study Africa, and came back and tell their peoples how Africa is, how they are going to go about to destroy. President Ramaphosa says, the South African president says, the British passport price is now $15,000. As a British, you want to come from America to go to South Africa to have the South African passport, to have the British passport in South Africa, you must pay $15,000. If you don't have it, you can never become a British in South Africa. I respect Ramaphosa. I'm telling you, I respect Ramaphosa. The decisions he make in that place is so. He said, since West is ready to make sanctions on Africa because Africa want to be free, so British passport price in South Africa is now $15,000. Nothing more or less than $15,000. You know, I think some Africans will not understand because some Africans work with their own idea. They think, they sit and think and say, oh, this is what I think and this is the right. You think people are going to say what you are thinking as an African? No, we are not thinking about even ourselves. We think about Africa. We don't sit and think and say, no, everybody in Africa have to think like this. No, we sit and think what is good for Africa and what will be the good thinking capacity of each and every good African who want the peace of Africa, who want the freedom of Africa. We bring it out to peoples. And it related to many peoples. So those who are commenting there, my brother, your thinking capacity is low, my brother, you are this. I don't blame you as an African. So you still want Africa to remain in slavery. I don't blame you. This is the problem. You are the Africans who believe that Putin is in Africa to colonize Africa. You are the Africans who believe that to remain in the hand of the West is better than being in the hand of Russia. But I believe this, that to remain in the hand of Russia is better than remaining in the hand of the West. For how many years, for how many decades the West have been controlling Africa? Does it help Africa? For how many years? More than 1,000, 2,000 years. The West have been controlling Africa, colonizing Africa. Do it ever benefit Africa? Russia go to Africa just not even up to 2 years or 3 years. Look at how Africa is waking up. So if you are an African black man out there, you are thinking otherwise, that is your belief. We are not here to please you. I'm not here to please you as personally or to please you privately. I am here to please that Africa that we all belong to. I am not here to please or to say what you love. I am here to say what is the right and what is the truth. When you believe this, if you cannot watch me because what I'm saying you don't comply with it, I'm sorry, my fellow brother from Africa. Stop watching me. Don't watch people who you don't like and who you don't like what they are saying. Don't watch me if you don't love the truth. I am not begging and the whole Africa to watch me, but I am begging for the good Africans. The people who love Africa, who want Africa to be free, to watch me. So if you are an African and you are there complaining, before you will come here on comment section to insult me, it will not help you. Stop watching me, that will help you. Because when you stop watching me, maybe you will not have high blood pressure, you will not be angry, you will not be making sins by insulting me when you don't even know me, when I don't do nothing to you, when I don't do nothing bad to you. But just because I am saying something that doesn't go with your own thinking, and you think I am bringing my own thinking into Africa? No. I am not bringing my own mind to Africa. I don't sit and think, okay, this is what I think, so I should give it to Africans and Africans must accept it. No. I think, I sit and calculate and bring out the real story to Africans to know who they are. For Africans to be strong, to take the good part. I also listen to people. You think I don't listen to African Pan-Africans? I listen to Julius Malema, I listen to Bobby Wine, I listen to Kenya President, since he stood up a part, you understand, for Africa. I listen to them. Because I believe they are not speaking out there only their own mindset, but they are speaking about the whole Africa, that we want to be free. How are we going to be free? I will never call those people so what they are saying is wrong, what they are saying is lie, they are stupid. I will never insult them. You know why? Because I believe whatever they are saying is the best way of Africa. I am not speaking about my compound, I am not speaking about my country, but I am speaking about the whole Africa. And you think I will sit here and think about my own mind about Africa, or to say what you are thinking? I cannot know what you are thinking in your head. When you are there, I am here. I cannot say what you are thinking. What you are thinking, only you know what you are thinking. So I will say what I know as reality, not what I think. I don't say what I think. I said what I know as reality about Africa, but not what I think, because what I think is my brain alone thinking. Maybe it can be fake, maybe it can be true, maybe it can be helpful, maybe it can be damage to Africa. So I don't say what I think. I said what is the reality. The reality, my words based on the reality. That's why I always say that I am never afraid to say anything, and I am never afraid to be arrested by any government to criticize me. Because whatever I say based on the reality, not my own thinking. If I'm saying my own thinking, do you think I will not be arrested by right now? I will be arrested since. But whatever I'm saying is based on the reality, what is going on out there. Out there, what is going on? That's what I bring on my table and speak about it to let others also to know this is what is going on and this is how things are. Do you think I am in the West? I am living in the West country, West Europe. And you think what all I say about the West, if it is a lie, do you think I will not be arrested? Is that what you are thinking? So that should be the first sign to let you know that whatever PANDI is saying about the West is the fact. Because here you can't sit in Europe here and speak about their governments and lie against their governments and give false information. You will be arrested by giving false information in media. That is Europe. It's a policy in Europe. By giving false information to people out there, you will be arrested for it. And you will face the consequence. So Europe is not like Africa. You can sit and give false information. No government will arrest you. In Europe here, that is against the European policy, to just sit in media and give out false informations. So you think I will go against that policy and I will still be standing here talking? So to let you, why I'm saying this, to let you believe that I'm not supporting myself, but whatever I bring on my table, I am also trying to underline my words to know what I am bringing is the reality. Nothing but the reality, but the truth. Nothing but the truth. But not like to be here and giving you people fake information out there so that people will come and watch me. That is not my business. Even if 20 people is watching me, I will still be content with it, but I will still speak the reality, the truth. If people cannot watch me because I'm speaking out the truth, if people don't want to watch me because I'm speaking out the truth, I am not worried. But I will still depend on that truth and that reality. If you don't realize it today, maybe in the next 5 years you will realize whatever I was saying. So, if someone is speaking lie, always want to take people attention. Because he is lying and he always want people to watch him. So, because he knows tomorrow you will find out that he is lying. So if you don't watch him right now, you can't watch him anymore. But people who want to speak the reality, the truth, they are not worried even if you don't watch them. No. I'm not worried even this 131 people that is watching me right now, even only that one watch me every day, I will still keep on giving them the truth and the reality. Those who don't believe, stay away. Don't watch me, don't follow me, please. I'm not asking for more followers. I'm not asking for more viewers, but I'm asking for loyalty Africans who are ready to listen to what is the reality of Africa. And what base realities on Africa. That's what we search for. But we don't search for fake Africans who just want people to say what is in their mind. Some people will call me, my brother, you have to sell it like this when you go to media. You are giving me your own thinking. You think I will come here and say what? You have to be sitting somewhere down there, Africa. Call me here. My brother, when you go to media, this is how you have to talk. This is what you have to say. You think you have the right on my life? No. Nobody have right on my life. I decide what to say. It's not like people have to decide and tell me this is what you have to say. If I depend on people and somebody give me some fake news and I put it on media while it was a lie, so what will I tell people? I speak about things that I know of. I speak about things that in reality is happened and I know of. It's not like somebody will come and tell me. No. Somebody should not tell me. And those who are in Africa is calling me. They are always calling me. My brother, when you go media, this is what you have to say. Look, this, like this, like this. I will not believe you. You think I will believe you? I will not. Someone just called me even today around 3 o'clock from Nigeria. Was calling me. My brother, what Russia was doing is rubbish. What Russia is doing is rubbish. Russia is trying to colonize us. So when you go to media, tell Africans that Russia is trying to colonize us. Your own thinking of mine, you are giving me to come to media and tell people. Who do you think I am? Do you think whatever I say in my media, I took it from people's? Maybe there are peoples in media who took their words from peoples out there, not me. Because I base on the fact and the reality. And to base on the fact and the reality, I have to always pick words that are reality, not by listening to people. Somebody will call me, Pandi, go to live. And if you go to live, tell them this, that. No. And that's how so many people are thinking. Somebody called me from France, was telling me the same thing. My brother, if you go live, you have to talk about what Russia is doing to Africa. It's not good. Russia is very stupid. Russia is that. Putin is that. Putin is that. Africans are very stupid. They are supporting Putin. This, that. So if you go, you have to make it clear. Tell them this, that. Come on, relax, my brother. I am not here to wait for your command. Nobody command me. I am just soldier. Only Almighty God command me. So that's why I base on the truth. I don't take commandment from no one. Nobody control me. So I can't sit in media and talk about what you think. I have to be calling you. When I want to go live, you have to call me. Pandi, when you go live right now, this is what you have to say. And I will come to live and tell people, this is that. While I took the word from someone. Then who am I? If that word was fake, or that information was fake, what would happen to me next? That's why many people, when they call me, they still call me after my life. Oh, my brother, what I tell you, you didn't say it in your life. I was watching your life. So you want to be proud that I am the one who tell PANDI this word. When I'm saying it so that you can tell your friends, look what PANDI is saying right now. I'm the one who tell him to say it. Come on. I base on the reality. Either you agree with me, you don't agree with me on the topic, but the reality is the reality. Many Africans were writing there, my brother, you are stupid. My brother, your brain thinking capacity is low. All because I didn't say what they are thinking in their mind. Don't worry. If you see that I'm saying a topic that is not good with you and that you are not happy with it and that is different from what you are thinking in your mind, don't watch me. But you see Russia, I prefer Russia, Africa to work with Russia than Africa to keep on continue working with the West, because we are not stupid. We have been working with the West for how long? What benefit do we get from the West? Tell me, what benefit do we get from the West? So, as an African, you are not even proud that now Africans are waking up when Mali chased out France, when Mali dropped French language, when Mali's banned Dollar in their country. Burkina Faso is trying to now also ban French and drop French language. South Africa get themselves. When you are seeing Malawi is coming in, Central Republic of Africa is coming in, when you are seeing Somalia is coming in, Zimbabwe, Eritrea, when you are seeing someone is there making those countries to be strong. Before South Africa was in the hand of West, what do they gain? It's only slavery. South Africa have been in the hand of West. The West is trying to take over all South Africa better lands. The West, when the Western people, the white people go to South Africa, they are even more better than the South African citizens themselves. The West, the white people, when they go to South Africa, they live in South Africa like they are the owner of South Africa. So when Vladimir Putin is trying to make that thing to be less, do you know when you are a Zimbabwean or when you are an African black man, when you go to South Africa and you meet a white man, white man go to South Africa and you as an African, you go to South Africa. That white man is more important than you black man in South Africa, when South Africa is an African country. All that is happening because they are trying to colonize that country, to take over that country, every good land. They build their own houses, make jobs, and make Africans to work there in Africa as a slave. In South Africa, all these things happen. There was a time when South Africans were chasing Nigerians, all those things based on those facts. South Africans were chasing Zimbabweans. All those things, that's what Julius Malema was complaining, that Zimbabweans should come because they are our brothers. That's why I respect Malema on that part. So you think we are not watching all those things? You think we are not calculating, or we are not thinking what are the cause of those problems? We sit and calculate. And we know it's all those problems are the West. The West is making South Africa to chase their own brothers and accept them while they are the enemy of South Africa. But the West have already made South African government before to think like the West is their friend and Africans, their brothers, are their enemy. But today I'm so happy when South Africa is waking up, trying to show the West that we are no more friends anymore. Our brothers are our brothers. And we are not going to chase away our brothers. That's what Malema stand on. Malema says, we are not going to chase away our brothers and invite our enemies. And that is the fact. Because the West that South Africa was inviting, the West is the enemy of South Africa. And if South Africa was chasing Zimbabweans, Nigerians, Ghanaians, Guineans away, that means they are chasing away their own brothers and inviting their enemies into South Africa. That's what Malema stands to chase away. The hatred on ourselves. Because that is called hatred on ourselves. Self-hatred. That's why Malema says, we are not going to hate ourselves. We are going to be a brother keepers. And that's going to bring the unity of Africa. Imagine if South Africa was chasing Zimbabweans. Do you think Zimbabweans will be happy to receive South Africa? So they will become enemy. So to bring unity is to let us to love each other and appreciate each other and accept each other. Without Africans accepting each other, we can never be united. But when we started to accept each other as brothers, we are going to become one. Because imagine like this, if South Africans are always going to Zimbabwe to enjoy themselves and make work and have job there and do best there like Africans, like their own country, and Zimbabweans also are coming to South Africa, they become one family. You will see that someday South Africans will be marrying Zimbabwean women and Zimbabwean men will be marrying South African women. So they become family and we become to see each other as one family. I will give you an example, Gambia and Kasamashi. Gambia and Senegal can never be in war. Do you know why? Because Gambians and Senegal was in too much relationship. So Gambians were marrying from Senegal, Senegalese were marrying from Gambia. So it became one family. When you are a Gambian and you fight against Senegal, trust me, you are going to fight your family there. Because one of your family is there. When you are a Senegalese and you want to fight Gambia, you fight your family there. Why? Because that country was too together. They were marrying each other. So this is what they don't want Africa to do. For a very long time, the West was denying Africans to accept each other. They make Africans to hate each other, to see each other as enemies, to fight against each other. And that make Africans too much distractions in Africans' freedom. We can't have freedom when we are not united. And now we are seeing that Mali get themselves, Burkina Faso, Zimbabwe, Somalia, Central Republic, African Republic, Eritrea, let's go to Guinea-Bissau. All these countries are now getting free. And you think we are not happy about it? I am so happy that we have been complaining to the African militaries and African leaders because we have spoken to African leaders and they were not listening. Now African soldiers are trying to listen to us to make sure that, because this is what I say in one of my life. I said, if the militaries can comply with us, we are going to get the freedom. The militaries, they have the power. If the leader is not ready, the presidents, we are seeing them, they are always bringing us back, taking Africa back. If the soldiers are ready for Africa to be liberated, we will be liberated. If you check Mali, the soldier took over. Burkina soldier took over. Guinea soldier took over. Niger soldier is taking over. So all these countries that are liberating themselves today, their soldiers wake up. And I'm even begging to Gambian soldiers should also wake up. Senegal soldiers, Ghanaian soldiers. If the Akufo-Addo is not ready to work, kick him out. Soldiers of Ghana, kick him out. This general army, the army general of Ghana, kick Akufo-Addo out if he is not ready to liberate Ghana. Ghana have resources that can benefit Ghana. America, how many American businesses do we have in Ghana? How many American companies, American businesses do we have in Ghana? If America is ready to put sanctions on Ghana, Ghana also can put sanctions on American businesses. So if you, the Ghanaian soldiers, are seeing that Akufo-Addo is not ready to comply as Africa, take him out, as Mali did. Nigeria, the same thing. You have Bola Tinubu, who is an old man who is not even... Sometimes I wonder why. Is this a cost on Africa to always vote for old peoples who cannot even speak properly? Is this a cost on us? Do you know when someone is old, his brain look like a child? We don't know this. If you came to Europe here when you have 60 years, you can never be a leader in Europe. They will park you aside. Yeah, when you have 60 years, and Bola Tinubu is older than 60 years. Bola Tinubu is now going to 80. 80 years, if he didn't even have 80 years. How can Bola Tinubu rule that Nigeria? How do you expect Bola Tinubu is not even active? Someone who cannot even walk properly. Cannot speak properly. His brain is now not even thinking like a man. His brain is thinking like a child. He has a child brain right now. How do you expect? When I watch Bola Tinubu, sometimes I pity Nigeria. I say, no. Is this true that this man is the president? Sometimes I drag with my brain that no, this man is not the president of Nigeria. Maybe it's just a news. It's just a fake news. But I don't believe this man is still the president of Nigeria. When you remove Buhari, who is old, who cannot even do nothing for himself, you go and put a man who is more older than Muhammad Buhari. And that makes me pity. Do you think Bola Tinubu will make Nigeria to be free? It's not possible. Nigerian militaries, plan. Do something. You are the peoples who we are waiting for. Come on. You are the people who Nigeria have been suffering for so long in the hand of West. They have been pressing the neck of Nigeria. For Nigeria never to have a fresh air to breathe. It's a big pity. If the leader, come on, this leader is not a leader. I would not even say if the leader is not ready to comply, because Bola Tinubu can never comply. Nigeria didn't vote for Tinubu. I know, my brother. I know. But I'm speaking to Nigerian soldiers. How many Nigerian soldiers are dying in the hand of terrorists, in the hand of kidnappers? The kidnappers and the terrorists, they have more weapons than Nigerian soldiers. They have more dangerous weapons. than Nigerian soldiers. Trust me. How many Nigerian soldiers are dying in that bush? Sometimes I was watching so many videos about Nigerian soldiers in conflict with a terrorist group. A terrorist group was killing more Nigerian soldiers. So Nigerian soldiers, you are losing your soul for no reason, and you can never win against those terrorist groups. Because those terrorist groups have been sponsored by the West with the most dangerous weapons that you people never seen in your life. You can never fight against the terrorist group. You are just killing yourself. Stop fighting against the terrorists. Fight against the leader that is there. Bring him down. Let military man rule Nigeria. A young man, a young military general to rule Nigeria right now, and let's take Nigeria to next level like Mali, like Burkina, like South Africa, like Malawi, like Niger. We need military generals to become the leader right now in Africa, since these old cargoes are not ready to comply with the African citizens. The militaries, we understand the language of militaries, and they understand the language of freedom. A military leader is never a coward and is never afraid to fight for his people when a military becomes a leader. When a military man becomes a leader, a military general, is never afraid to fight for his people. They have been trained to kill. They have been trained to fight. So they are not afraid of West. They tell the West the truth. That's why the Gambian former president, when they go out, they go and put a woman as a Gambian president. A woman. How can you vote for a woman in Gambia as a president and remove a military man as a president? When Gambia remove a military man as a president and put a woman as a president, and they want Gambia to go forward. Gambians are complaining. We are tired, we are tired. Who make you tired? You make yourself tired because you remove a man from leadership and put a woman there, a coward, as a leader of Gambia. And you expect Gambia to go forward. For what reason? When a man who is speaking, you even think like he's a woman. You go and put him as a leader. He is now working with the West to sell all Gambian resources and to even sell you the Gambians. How many Gambians have been deported? Still they are deporting you the Gambians. You can't even do nothing about that. You vote for him. You the Gambians wanted your life to be like that. You wanted your life to be like that. When you remove a military as a leader, you remove him, kick him out, because the West was telling you, your president is a dictator, your president is a terrorist, your president is a killer. And when the West was paying some fake journalists, some prostitute journalists in Gambia. All those journalists who were sitting in America making radio stations telling Gambians that the president raped me, the president do this, prostitute journalists. The West was paying them. America was paying them. Those journalists to destroy the name of the Gambian president. Because they know he is not ready to comply with them. He is not ready to be a slave. He is not ready to make Gambia a slave country. He is not ready to accept any terrorist group in Gambia. Now they have to pay some Gambian journalists who run away to go and sit in America. America was giving those journalists a visa free to go to America. When they run and go to America, America was paying them to confuse Gambians. So all Gambians started to hate the president, saying that our president is not good. He's a killer. We don't want you. We don't want you. Now you take him out. You take a military out. The only one you can bring is a woman to become a president in the Gambia. And you expect Gambia to grow. Where? Where will Gambia go? When a woman is ruling Gambia, where will Gambia go? As they put that woman to rule Gambia, the woman have given Gambia to Lebanese, to Europeans. He was selling land, Gambian land. He was a land seller. Gambians make a land seller as a president. He was selling Gambian lands, better land. The most important lands in the Gambia, he was selling it to Lebanese people. He was selling it to Europeans, the British. He was selling the better land of Gambia to them. He is selling even Gambians right now. A land seller, you make him a president. Now he don't only sell land, but he sells human beings. Gambian president is a human trafficker. I'm the one who said it. If the president don't like it, let him do whatever he want to do. I don't care. But the fact is, that man cannot rule that country. Because we don't need coward to become a leader in Gambia. We don't need those who want to remain in slavery to become a president, even in Africa. We don't need it. And if Gambians now are complaining, sometimes I sit and watch. Why are Gambians complaining? When they vote for this man, when they put this man in power, I will not even call him a man, when they put this woman in power, a coward who is afraid, when they put him in power, they told him that you are going to be there for 3 years. Then after that 3 years, you are going to come down and Gambians are going to vote to choose a leader, to choose one political party to rule them. This man say okay, and this man sign all the documents that 3 years he have to come down and Gambians have to go and vote which political party they want. After 3 years, they tell this man to come down. This man says he is not coming down. He is going to complete the 5 years. And after that, they can do election. If anybody win, can become the leader. Before that 2 years will complete, to come to 5 years, this man have already formed his own political party. Started bribing people around. Started buying cars. Do you know that the Gambian president was using almost, how many billion? I think it was like 6 billion. 6 billion US dollar. $6 billion, Abi? $6 billion just to buy cars for ministers. When Gambians are suffering there, in the Gambia, when he is still deporting Gambians from Europe and take them to Gambia, this man took 6 billion to buy only cars for ministers, to bribe honorables in the Gambia. To bribe the parliament members. That's why a lot of the Gambian parliament members are keeping quiet on their old asses in that office. They couldn't speak for Gambia because you are eating the money from the president. You are collecting bribe from president. How can you speak for the Gambians? Not like the Gambian parliament workers, they didn't know what Gambians want. They know what Gambians want. They know how to work for Gambians. But because they were becoming a collector of bribe from the president, and they are afraid to speak the truth. They are never going to say something that the president will not want to hear. They always say things that the president want to hear. Last time when I watched a woman who was a parliament member in Gambia, who was complaining that they increased her own salary. He's a parliament member. He was very truthful. She was very truthful. I appreciate her. May God bless her. I don't know the woman's name, but she is a parliament member. She was complaining that, why do the president have to increase my salary to 1 million? If I have people in my society who are suffering, I don't need the money. This is what she was saying. She said, I don't need the president to increase my salary to 1 million. 1 million. When my society is suffering, I don't need it. Don't pay me for that money. She was complaining so bitterly. She said she is not going to be in the parliament anymore because she don't need that money. Look how truthful she was. She was so truthful. I watched the video of that woman. I feel like to cry. I feel like to cry when there are men with their bungalows sitting there. They couldn't speak like that. A woman become a man to feel her own peoples. To feel the sovereign son of Gambia says, the president, you don't have to pay me $1 million because it's too much when my society I came from, they are suffering. I don't need the money. The poor masses need the money. They pay taxes, they need the money, not me. A woman. There are many parliament members who are men. They are sitting there on their asses. They don't appreciate the woman speaking out that word. The woman was speaking so many secrets that are in the parliament. Says they are not necessary. How can you pay ministers 1 million when the society they come from, those people are suffering? When the people who are paying taxes, they are suffering. How can you use 6 billion to buy just only car for the honorable members in the parliament? Why? When the people who are paying those taxes are suffering. The woman was complaining. And men are in the parliament, they can never speak for Gambia like that. What are the use of those you the Gambians men in the parliament? You were all feeling the same way. As I was watching the video, you were all keeping your head like this. You don't even want the camera to show your face because you know that you are a stupid and coward parliament member for Gambians. You don't want to show your face because you feel ashamed that where you should stand, a woman wake up and stand in that place as a man. All you, the Gambian parliament workers, the only thing you know how to do is to just squanderize our money, and at the end of the day, when they give you that 1 million salary, you go to the hotel and started sleeping with young girls in the Gambia. The Gambian parliament workers, their men, the only thing they know how to do is to collect money and share our money among each other and go and sleep with girls on the hotel. They know how to rent a hotel. The only thing that Gambian parliament workers know how to do is to go and rent a hotel. The president is aware that his parliament workers are renting hotel for girls. The president is aware. You think the president is not aware? The Gambian president is aware. The Gambian president is aware that my MPs, when I share money with them, they go to the hotel and take underage children and go and disvirgin them on the hotel. The Gambian president is aware. That's why he's not speaking. The Gambian president, no? Because the advisor to the Gambian president have been sleeping with people's wives until his bungalow come out. That was Dusanwo, whose sex audio come out. Dusanwo. The advisor to the president, the advisor to the Gambian president, who should advise the president to do good, is now sleeping with people's wives. How do you expect the person who should advise me is now sleeping with people's wives? What will you think I will do? If that is the person who is sleeping with people's wives should be the one to advise me, then how do you think, what will he advise me to do? Hey, Mr. President, sleep with women, so don't worry. If I am the president of Gambia and my advisor is sleeping with people's wives around, then how do you think that advisor will advise me? He will just advise me, Mr. President, let's share this money. Forget about the country citizens. Let's share this money. We can go to some hotel. I have rented some hotel. We can go there. And do you think if that man was doing that for me, and later that man's sex audio come out, do you think I will sack him? I will be afraid to sack the advisor, because if I sack him, he may expose me, whatever he was doing for me, the woman he was bringing for me, he may expose me, so I will not sack him. So that's why all the ministers that their bungalows videos came out in Gambia, all the ministers, the president refused to sack them. We know it, Mr. President, don't worry. You know, you can silence some Gambians, but people like PANDI MAICA, you can never silence us. No matter what you do, the only thing you could do when I came to Gambia, lock me up. And I don't care about that. That is something that I'm not worried about, that, to be locked up by you. Because I know that's the only thing the West will ask you to do. They will tell you that young boy, PANDI MAICA, is fighting for Africa, and we don't want, he's from your country. If you don't want us to ban you from our country, arrest him when he came to the country. So arrest me. I know it will happen one day. The West will allow you to arrest me because I'm fighting for Africa. So they will threaten you with a visa, that you will never come to Europe if you don't arrest me. So you will arrest me one day because you need money from them. So arrest me and go and collect the money and eat it. But remember this, that whatever I said about you, I'm never regretting to say it about you, Mr. President, Gambian President. Remember it, that locking me up can never retrieve me from my freedom fighting. Remember this, that the only thing that could stop me is when you slaughter me. Gambian President, remember that. And remember this, that when you lock me up, that year will be the end of your leadership. I'm not joking, and I'm not promoting myself. I'm not God, and I'm not angel. I know I'm just a human being like every other human being out there. But Mr. President, remember it. If you lock me up any year, that year will be the end of your leadership. I'm not telling you because I don't want you to arrest me. If you want to arrest me, I will come to Gambia always. So if I come there again, arrest me. No problem. I'm not worried. But the truth is, you are not capable to rule that country. And even in front of you, I will repeat the same thing. That, Mr. President, you are not capable to rule this country. You don't have the capability. You don't have the mind to take the responsibility of that country. You are just afraid, and you are just a man who is a coward, never ready to speak out the truth because you are too greedy. And I can say all these things in front of you. If you will kill me for saying the truth. No problem. But I can repeat whatever I say on media about you. I can repeat it in front of you. If I will be slaughtered by you, let me be slaughtered. I am wondering why I have been speaking with so many Gambian military men. What are they waiting for? Why they don't bring you down for a very long time? And I'm not afraid to say this. If I will be arrested because of this, let me be arrested. But I will want what happened in Mali, what happened in Burkina, what happened in Niger to happen in Gambia. Let the militaries take over. We were having a military leader, Yaya Jammeh, who was very good, a great leader. We want the same leader like Yaya Jammeh, not a coward, not a woman like this. Gambians will complain. Gambians are afraid to fight for themselves. Gambians are afraid to speak for themselves. Gambians are afraid to go to prison. Gambians are afraid to die. That's why they are afraid to speak for themselves. They are afraid to even fight for their own rights. Their own right. They all know it's their right to complain. They will not even complain because they are afraid not to go to prison. Gambians will go and vote for you again because they all want 1 gallon of oil. After when the election is at the corner, the president will start telling you stories, how he climbed up a 3-story building, how he climbed up a helicopter, how he was moving in Europe, how he was changing boss, how many jobs do we have in Europe, stories. He just tells Gambian stories and they vote for him. To brainwash Gambians is very cheap. The president of Gambia brainwashed Gambians with story. I climb up a tree 500 meters. I will put internet in your garden. You will sit in your house and take your phone and water your garden while sitting in your house. Why? The president, I never see a president going on in a campaign, the Gambian president, and saying that, look, we want to make this project or we want to do this. No. The only thing he can say to Gambians is, hey, somebody was talking about me. Leave him. He's a political leader. He was talking about me. He knows how to reply political party leaders, but he don't know how to speak to Gambians, to solve Gambians' problem. When Gambia was having a problem with Senegal soldiers coming into Gambia and firing arms in Gambia, Gambians complained. The president never come out and address it. Gambians were dying. Thieves, armed robbers were in Gambia. Gambians were complaining. The president never came out to address it. Gambians were deported. The president never came out to address it. All Gambia is complaining. Wow, we don't want deportation. The president have to stop this. They do demonstration in Germany for 1,000,000 times. They go and do demonstration in Gambia. Nothing came out. The president is still sitting down, keeping quiet. He never came out once to address the issue. When he came out, do you know what he do? I saw his video last time when he was speaking, responding to some political party. He was in some place responding to some political party. Which kind of leader is that? You know, Mr. President, sometimes, if I watch you, Mr. President, Gambian President I'm talking to, if I watch you sometimes, I just see you as some small child who is ready to play with the minds of full-grown men. Because that's what you are doing right now. When you are destroying Gambians, you are killing Gambians each and every day. You still came out to come and tell Gambians a story, how you climb a 500-meter tree. How you were working in Europe. You said, I sleep 30 minutes. I change boss in Europe 90 times. 9 times. 9 times a day. You change boss. A train. He will change train 9 times. I think your job is to go and keep on changing train, and when the month finishes, they pay you. Why? The only thing he could tell Gambians, to convince Gambians with story. Tell me, when do you see Gambian president making a speech about the problem of Gambia? How many problems do we have in Gambia? We have bag of rice high. We have things difficult in Gambia. The Gambian president never came out to address those issues. If you see a Gambian president coming out to speak, he want to reply somebody. Somebody made a speech about him. An ordinary citizen will make a speech about him and he will come out to reply that person. Sometimes I get angry. If I say something now, they say, no, you insult the president. But the Gambian president is never telling the truth. I'm not seeing you, Mr. President, as a truth teller. You never tell us truth. We put you there as a president, but you are the enemy of Gambia. You hate us, and you expect us to love you. Who the hell are you, Mr. President? Who the hell are you when you will hate us, destroying our futures, and you expect us to love you? We hate you, Mr. President. We hate you. There's no doubt about that. Never think like I, PANDI, MAICA, will love you. No, maybe there are some foolish Gambians who will love you for destroying them. But not me and my peoples. Me and my peoples will never love you and we will never love you. And you are never our president. Come on, for me, there is no president in Gambia. I am my own president in Gambia. I can say it anywhere. And I can go to Gambia and still live to tell the story. That's my country. The same way the Gambian president has right in Gambia to have citizenship, the same citizenship I have. And I have the right to complain whatever is not going well in that country. It's not like you are a president, you are going to make me feel afraid to say my mind or to say the truth out. Come on, as far as you are a president, you give us right to complain to you whatever you are not doing good. You give us that right since you accept democracy. So we will complain to you, and if we complain and you are not complying, Mr. President, we put you there, we pay taxes. Those taxes pay your salary every month, $150,000, and you took money from us to buy food. We buy for your food, we buy for your water, we pay your children's school fees in America. Our money you use to buy car for your children in America, Ferrari. So, Mr. President, we are not going to see you as a giant or as a lion. No, 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 no. You are just like a slave to us. We put you there to work for us. And if you are not ready to comply, we are going to speak to you like our own worker. We are never going to feel afraid. Maybe some Gambians will feel afraid to tell you the truth. But let me tell you, we don't see president in Gambia. And we don't have a president in Gambia. Gambia don't have a president. Believe it or not, every military, PIU officers, para, soldier, immigration officers in Gambia realize it from today. You don't have a president. What are you waiting for? And I want to say this. I'm not fighting against no military in Gambia. But I want to say this, and I will want the message to reach to Gambians. Gambians military services. That I, PANDI MAICA, I'm not fighting against my citizens. I'm not fighting against military. But I'm fighting against one man who is destroying that country. And I will want the military services, soldiers, paras, PIO officers, immigration officers, not to include themselves. Don't include yourself. If you can't support me on the liberation to free Gambia, don't go against me. I beg you in the name of God. Please, I am begging the military services, the police, the PIO officers, the immigration officers, don't include yourself. I am fighting against a man who is destroying even you, the militaries, the servicemen in the Gambia, because your salary is poor. Did the president pay you good salary in Gambia? No. You are all crying out because your salaries are poor. And we want to fight for that. Do you think we are happy to see you, the militaries, working for us, guiding us each and every day and night? You don't sleep because you are guiding and protecting us, and you are not earning good salary. You think we are happy about that? A good citizen of Gambia will never be happy to see Gambian servicemen working hard on the street day and night, guiding the citizens and their property, but they are not earning good salary. Why? Because the president is greedy and doesn't want to give them what they deserve. Whatever the ministers, the MPs, the honorable members in the cabinet are collecting today is more than the military's payments in a month. And the military should be the one to, the servicemen that are using their eyes not to sleep and using their eyes to guide and protect the citizens and their property should be the one to collect the highest salary, because they give their life to the country. They can die by guiding that country. They can die anytime. Terrorist group can come and shoot them, fire on them and kill them. They have a family also. So we are not happy seeing you, the militaries, crying out that you don't even have good salary. The doctors in the hospital are always crying. They put three sick people on one bed. They have to put 3 patients or 4 patients in one bed because there is no bed in the hospital. Because there is no medicine in the hospital. There is no blood in the hospital. There is no water. The doctors are always complaining. The president never talk about that. The militaries, the teachers, everybody is complaining about salary. Because salary is poor, salary is poor. And now Gambians, even Gambian teachers are leaving school to come to Libya to cross and come to Europe. Gambian doctors are coming to come to Libya. Why are they leaving that job in the Gambia to run away? Because they are not getting good salary. And those people are the ones you are taken back without no job again. So this is why I say militaries, the servicemen in the Gambia, police, PIO officers, paras, soldiers, immigration officers, if you can't join me to liberate Gambia, please don't let the president to let you go against me. I never pray to fight against my fellow citizens. I am fighting against only one man, and that is the president of Gambia. I don't like him today, I don't like him tomorrow, and I will never like him as far as he is destroying that country like this. And he is never my president. I announced it so long time, even before I would go to Gambia last time. I announced it that the president is ruling one side of Gambia, and I'm the president of one side of the Gambia. We say it. And no matter how long we will say it. And I'm not afraid to say it, and I can say it anywhere. Come on, I rule my own side. I rule URR in Gambia, not the president. Your commandment will not work there. anymore. I rule that side. If you want to do anything, do it. I don't care. But I will promise the military of this. Please, stay away from my part. If any military servicemen, you will not support me of what I am doing. You will not join me. Stay away. You are the people who we expect to see you on this journey to join us to liberate every African country like Mali did, like Burkina Faso did. Without military, we can't do it. We need you people on board because you people are the ones standing behind the president, guiding the president with big guns. When we want to speak for our own minds, for ourselves, defend ourselves, you kill us for the president. For one man, you are killing your fellow brothers. And we are the one complaining that the military salaries will be added. The police, the PIU officers, the immigration officers, the paras, their salary is too poor. We are the one complaining it should be increased because we pay taxes to pay those peoples. Now, if the money is not going to those peoples who are guiding us, why is the president so greedy eating the money alone? When we are paying taxes to pay the servicemen who are guiding us each and every day and night, why is the president greedy to taking that money and sharing it with the parliament members? And the only thing they know how to do with that money is to go and collect school girls from the road and take them to the hotel and sleep with them. The Gambian parliament members. They will not even feel ashamed of this. They are deporting Gambians from Germany because German give Gambian government a money. That was the money that they took 6 billion to go and buy a car for the parliament members. Each and every one new car. A car that worth 3 million. 3 million Gambian dollars, one car. They bought many cars and share it among each other. When teachers are complaining, doctors are complaining, no hospital bed, no bullet in the hospital, no medicine in the hospital, no car. The fire service is complaining, no car. They can't even go somewhere to go and off fire when fire is somewhere. And that is the problem. You use 6 billion or Gambian dollars to go and buy a car for the honorables. When we have all this Walipa problem in the Gambia, that you could use 6 billion to solve all the problem. 6 billion, not million, but 6 billion. You can use it to solve all those problems. But you go and use the money, give it so that the MPs will hide your secret. So that the parliament members who you are working with, they will hide your secret, Mr. President. That's your plan? Come on. We are done with that rubbish right now, and we are not going to take it no more. So thank you guys for being with me here, and I will close my life here. May God bless you all, and may God save us all from African perpetrators, leaders, and may God bless Africa, and may God see each and everyone who is watching me right now. May God bless us all, and may God save us from our enemies. Whatever your enemies plan against you shall never prosper, and whatever we are finding in our life, we shall get it in an easy way. May God save us from our enemies. May God save us from our enemies. May God give us good life, good health, and long life. May God save us from our enemies, I always say. May God never make us have no enemy, but may God never make our enemies to get over us. May God make our enemies always to see us higher and higher. Whatever your enemies pray for and whatever your enemies are praying against you shall go back to sender. You shall be free in your life. You shall never be attacked by your enemies. And even when you are attacked by your enemies shall never succeed on you. You shall always be the toughest man among your enemies. You shall always be the toughest man among people who hate you, who always pray for you to be destroyed. The destroyment shall go back to them. God shall always protect you and your family wherever you are. The evil hand will never touch you, neither your family. May God bless us all. Thank you guys for being with me here. May God give us all good health and long life and prosperity in our lives. Thank you guys.